All right, we've all heard it said that God has a sense of humor. And knowing you, knowing the crowd I'm with, I would be inclined to agree with that. More so because of my life. And I'll give you a little bit of a story about my life and how I grew up. I was a good kid. If you would ask my mom today, she would tell you I was close to the perfect kid. And you wouldn't think that. I know, but I was a good kid, never caused any problems with my mom. My dad, in school, I was a good kid. I made straight A's from the time I entered until the day I left. However, my senior year was a little different. My brother joined the Marines, and he went off to basic training. My sister got married and moved just a few miles away, and something snapped in me on that year. And I began to do some things that maybe my mom and my dad didn't too much care for. And I worked into doing some things that nobody cared for. I fell into the wrong crowd. I say fall into the wrong crowd. You don't really do that. You kind of jump headlong into the wrong crowd. But I got hanging around the wrong people. And as a matter of fact, 4 weeks before I graduated, I was expelled from school. And so that's kind of a kicker for my life. But I finished my schooling as a homeschooler that year and went off to get a job that same year. And again, gravitated toward the wrong people and got into some more trouble. As we came to the end of that physical year, going into the spring semester of 1999, my mom and dad wanted me to go to college. And I was all for that. I wanted to go to college. I wanted to make a lot of money. My dream was to become an engineer. And I remember somebody asked me what I wanted to do with my life, and that was to own I think a 36-story building at the time, have my office on the top story, and play putt-putt golf all day. So that's what I wanted to do. And so, but my mom and dad had different ideas about college. They said, why don't you go to seminary, Bible college? And of course, my thoughts were, there's no way that's going to happen. But I still love my mom and dad enough. It's where I honored them, and I said I would certainly go. When I got here, it was nothing like I imagined. I was a thug, and I got here, all kinds of rules, maybe changed the way I dressed, changed the way I looked. And I had full intentions of getting expelled again and going back home to be with my friends and doing what I wanted to do. But it was that later that into that semester that a young lady caught my eye. And some people may say I was robbed in the cradle. I was 18, she was 15, but she caught my eye. And so, of course, I decided to stay that summer. But it was through that summer that things changed in my life. I heard some messages at church, and I gave my heart and my life to the Lord on a Wednesday afternoon after speaking with our pastor. Well, later on, the relationships developed, and eventually I ended up marrying my wife, Beth. And so I came to the end of my college years. I decided to stay all 4 years, but I finished that in 3. But I decided to stay, and right out of college, I got a job at UPS working third shift, and I hate third shift. And that's saying it lightly. I don't like third shift. And so it wasn't too long I was working that when the pastor came to me and asked me to consider running the school and to work in the school. And of course, I was all for it. I got my education degree, and I was excited about working in the school. So for the last 15 years now, I've been at Victory Baptist Academy teaching and having a great time with it, spending time with kids and dealing with knuckleheaded kids, just like I was a knuckleheaded kid. So you can call it fate. You can call it a series of fortunate events. You can call it, as I do, God having a sense of humor. But there's one thing for sure. Everybody has a purpose in life. And you can find that purpose. And that purpose is attainable. So we encourage you to look for it and see maybe God will have a sense of humor in your life. Thank you.